Welcome to Weather and Climate Chat, June 13th, 2016. Monsoon Mike and Dr. Michael Davis. Dr. Davis, welcome back after a few weeks that we weren't here.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Well, we actually were here, but we both had so many different things going on in our lives that we just didn't record a show.
Our schedules didn't line up.
Yeah, I think the last time we got together was before we had our first, I don't know, was it considered officially a heat wave around Memorial Day? I think some cities had 3 days of 90 degree above.
Yeah. It was warm nonetheless. I don't
Yeah.
know if many areas did get to that 3 days of 90 days.
Yeah, I think Allentown
90
might have
degrees.
missed by a day, but I think.
But generally speaking, yes.
It was pretty darn warm. I think the highest reading I saw anywhere was, it's been a couple weeks now, so I've forgotten, but I think there was a 92 somewhere in Allentown maybe. I think there might have been a 91 in Reading. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, it was quite a turnaround, being that only a couple weeks prior to that, we had some grapple in the area.
And we had another, I guess you can call minor heat spell
Right.
this past weekend.
Right.
Where it got up to 90 degrees on Friday and Saturday across much of the area.
Yeah, let's talk about that. It was an interesting past week because prior to that 90 degrees on Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Wednesday seemed like a touch of September.
Yeah, it was kind of chilly for some areas. And
I recorded a 49 degree low at my house in Schuylkill County.
I believe that was the coldest June high temperature in some of the areas since 1993.
It was definitely refreshing, at least for somebody like me. I loved it last week when that happened, but a lot of people were complaining on my weather webpage. You know, this is summer, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess meteorologically,
Technically, we hasn't hit summer yet.
Yeah.
Astronomically, of course.
Meteorologically, we have, but
Meteorologically, yes.
But I mean, I'm like, don't worry, guys, we got a long way to go. You'll have plenty of heat, I'm sure, to deal with.
Yeah, we haven't even hit July or August yet.
And then just like that warm front moved through on Saturday and spiked temperatures, easily got to 90 Saturday, and yesterday was still pretty warm too.
And there was a risk of some severe weather on Saturday, but that never materialized.
That turned out to be a huge bust. In fact, I saw one weather web page get a little bit of flack for that. That they were forecasting a good amount of storms between like 2 and 5, and nothing at all happened. What happened with that?
We pretty much had a mesoscale convective system, which is basically a meteorological term for a large-scale kind of like storm system. It usually takes up several hundred miles or so, and that was over New England. And during that morning, Saturday morning, you should have had an outflow pretty much from that mesoscale convective system come in our area, interact with the warm front, potentially produce some type of uplift, but that never happened. So the debris flow from the mesoscale convective system, plus with the cooler winds and coming off the ocean, didn't really cause any sort of uplift. We had a lot of convective cloud cover, but we just didn't get any sort of major precipitation out of it.
Yeah, and a couple days prior to that, I was still at home when it happened, so I'm not sure what happened at Kutztown, but I'm trying to remember what day exactly that was. I had some pea-size hail at home.
That was Wednesday.
That was a strange day. It started off kind of chilly, kind of cool, and had this thunderstorm blew through that dropped pea-size hail across my driveway. So
yeah, there was reports of pea-size hail. Not even at your place, but also in other locations as well.
Right. So
I don't think we went under severe thunderstorm warning that day, though.
No.
I don't think we ever did.
In fact, I did, using my new Skywarn certification. I called it in because they did say that they wanted reports of any size hail, even though pea size is probably like the smallest size hail. And I reported it, and he said, thank you very much, but no warnings went up from my report, so I guess that was considered still not a severe thunderstorm. So, because severe thunderstorms require certain credentials to get to that.
Quarter-inch diameter hail.
Right. So,
which is about quarter size.
Yeah. So so definitely last week was a little odd, and then we had the cool weather, then it got really warm. Now today, Monday, we're back to it being this morning. I walked out of my house and it was on the cool side again.
Yep, and I must go back to my one comment too, because it's 1 inch hail now. Because it used to be a quarter-inch hail, I think a year or two ago.
Okay,
but then they upped that to 1 inch. So just get back to that.
That's okay. No, that's
got to be correct here.
That is important to know. Yep. And then now we're into a slightly cool spell again.
Yeah. It's looking like 70 degrees or so for
Nice.
the next couple of days. We have generally some stiff northwest winds right now.
Yeah, wind was pretty heavy yesterday, yeah.
And that's going to help keep us cooler because obviously this air's coming from the north where up in Canada it's going to be a little bit cooler than what you're going to have, say, if you're in Florida when we have winds out of the south.
Yeah. And we should mention Florida recently had a minor tropical storm fly through there.
Colin.
Colin, yeah. Some flooding issues, nothing too catastrophic, but, I guess it's shaping up to be a fairly active season that we're already up to letter C, and we're only at June 13th.
Yeah, and it does appear that we're going to have more like an average season for hurricanes.
Right.
Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to get into a La Nina type setup, which is good for active hurricane season. So we'll have to pay attention to the tropics a little bit more than we have in the past. And we really haven't had a very large storm that's impacted the coast. I believe Isaac was the last one in 2012.
Yep.
But then if you want to consider major hurricane, Category 3 or higher, making landfall, that you have to go all the way back to 2005 for when we had that really active one with Katrina, Wilma, Rita, so forth.
And that was a La Nina summer, I believe. Was it? I'm not sure. I have to check on that.
I believe it was a La Nina year.
I think it was. Yeah, and we'd have to check on that, though, folks.
Yeah, I'm not entirely positive of that.
It would make sense, though, if it was.
Yes.
Okay, so looking at the coming week, I've seen the forecast change a little bit. A couple days ago, it looked like dry, straight sunshine through the entire week, but now looks like we might have a little fly in the ointment somewhere around Thursday, and that's due to a front that's kind of meandering just to our south, right?
It looks like there's some type of atmospheric disturbance, low pressure, bringing up moisture from the south. It looks like you're going to have some precipitation across, say, the region Wednesday night, Thursday, maybe even a Friday morning, and then it exits as a stronger high pressure comes out of Canada.
Yeah. And this weekend's looking pretty good. I know there was also some concern for this weekend as well, too, because it looked like there was a low pressure system that was going to kind of meander like off the Carolina coast again. And there was some concerns about that throwing back some precipitation. But latest model runs look like it keeps it dry. It
looks like the high just overpowers it and keeps it further down toward the south, away from the region.
Been kind of the spring for those low pressures that kind of just meander off of the Carolina coast there.
You typically have a lot of cyclogenesis or beginnings of cyclonic formation around the southeast U.S., typically in the Caribbean, and you also have another area, typically off the Outer Banks area, where you have pretty much the sea breeze interacting with the continental air mass, creating your uplift. Right.
Now, of course, this weekend is a big weekend for you. You're getting married on Saturday, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And you've been watching the forecast very closely for the past couple of weeks, and unfortunately, it looks to hold pretty nice on Saturday because you're having an outdoor wedding.
Yes, it is an outdoor wedding, and it looks like it's going to be dry, sunny, and 81, 82 last I checked.
Yeah, and we got to give props to our friends at AccuWeather because we did friendly tease them a couple of months ago when they started their 90-day outlook, and that 90-day outlook has pretty much held firm for that day. It's always
and I believe when we commented on it that day, we looked at the forecast for my wedding day, and it was 81 and sunny. So
wow, they nailed it. That is pretty impressive. But you and I both know it's probably a little more on the luck side of that. No disrespect to their 90-day forecast, but I don't see that holding all the time.
No, I don't think you can get it 100% accurate.
Right. This time of year might be a little easier, but when we get into more active like fall weather and winter weather, I'll be interested to see how that 90-day forecast works out.
Especially when you start getting in like the transitional periods where the jet stream starts meandering and throwing a lot of monkey wrenches into the works of forecasting
I'm really looking forward to seeing how the 90-day forecast handles, like say when we get to October, and seeing what it does with November, December, and how that handles. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, but we still got a little bit of ways to worry about.
Should we have a check after off the air for the first day of fall semester?
I think we should. Yeah, I was going to do that now, but you know what? I'm going to let their computers or whatever settle in for the summer. But yeah, I think for the fall we should really do that. It should be pretty fun because as the first day of the fall semester starts, what's 90 days out from that? September, October.
It'd be like Christmas time.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving, Christmas. So yeah, let's check it all the fall and see what happens. That'll be fun. And hey, maybe they'll do well, or maybe they won't. We'll see. But good luck on your wedding. Congratulations congratulations with that. Prematurely congratulations, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Any topics you want to throw out there for this week, or you want to call it a day?
There really hasn't been that much. I've noticed that article came across my way recently that looked at coal production in the U.S. and how that's been reached a 34-year minimum.
Okay.
35-year.
That's good news.
Yeah. Because now you're getting natural gas becoming so cheap pretty much across the country, and you have more prevalence of solar and wind power.
That's good news.
There's less actual coal being mined nowadays. So perhaps it's more of a relic of the past, I don't want to say, but it's a transition to more cleaner energy future, which is good news for all of us.
All these like I said, we've seen a lot of baby steps, which is good. I mean, you're not going to have major, breakthroughs and help in climate change, but all these little baby steps add up, and that's a good one right there.
Yeah, and you've also had a presidential candidate make a comment about how he would completely cancel the Paris Climate Agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we won't mention that name, but I think everybody knows who we're talking about.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it looks like the gentleman that we were supporting is not going to, make it, but, I think Clinton's going to try to do a good job in keeping what Obama has done to keep it going. So
do you think Bernie pushed Hillary more toward the green side?
I think that's what we need to do. I think that if anything, just the fact that she has made, or that he has made her wake up a little more and realize that there's a huge sect of people, the real progressives, that are not being served really by either party. I think but definitely one party more than the other. I think she's helped push him in that proper direction. So, or he's helped push her in the proper direction. But we'll see.
We'll see what all comes down in November.
Yeah, but first we got to get we got to get past November, which will be interesting as well. So,
and already they're trying to Trump-proof the climate agreement.
Yeah, I know.
But there are some accommodations within the Paris Climate Agreement, which already makes it quite difficult for any sort of backing out of.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't.
You need to pledge 3 years in the agreement. You need to give 1 year response time before you withdraw. So already there's 4 years. So if Trump does get elected, then
it's not going to happen overnight.
Do anything about it.
Right. So. All right, so we'll just leave it at that. I mean, that's the best we can do is hope for the best, but know that, even if something like that does happen, that things still do have to follow the proper course, and you can't just turn something like that around. So
no, you can't.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. We're at about 13 minutes now. Dr. Davis, congratulations to you and your lovely bride. Wish you all the best. And you're not going to be going on your honeymoon right away. You're going to take it to a week later like me and my wife did. So we might still have a recording next week. So
yeah, I'll be around next week.
All right. So congratulations. Enjoy your wedding, and we'll see you hopefully next week.
Sounds good.
Okay.